Lake Victoria is a source of water, and water is life. So if we get the water, can use it for different reasons. There's washing, there's drinking, there's a lot of things.
Homabay County has the lakefront, 70% of all the lakefront counties. We have a larger share of 70, and so it controls our economy. Many of our population are dependent on the lake for water, for fish, and trade especially. And so we attach a lot of importance to this lake, and it is what makes Homabay what it is. The lake is the backbone of Homabay County.
Homabay residents are fishermen. So most of their livelihood is in water because they fish. They fish and then they sell the fish to people, and then that's how they earn their money. So conserving it is part of securing their source of livelihood. The lake is an integral part of the system. When you take away the lake, you take away everything from them. The Luo people are referred to as the River Lake Nilots, which means the lake is a part of their identity.
Nyinga Daniel Ambaso Kelo, Luanda Nyamasare, Aja Lupo Malwanda, Kinda Chwegogo, Luanda Beach, BMU.
Andile na Kinyo Yugi, Ausorech Luanda Beach. Lake Victoria konya kaja na modinam, to yudo rech, to miya uso, kase uso to nyithinda dhi go school to bende abang'yo kaka nyalo dak godo.
Chon rech ne nitiere, makani chwegogo abich, to nyaka yud rech mane nyalo romo siling 5,000. To sani kichwegogo abich, to kinyalo yudo rech manyalo romo siling 5,000. Bacho ni sani kichwegogo abich, tinyalo mana yudo rech maromo siling 300 kata 200 moko nyalo konyo ot.
Chon ne wayudo rech mang'eny kaluwore, ng'eni chon ne nitiere gik mantiere machalo togo. Koro kuondego ne rech bet kanyuole mang'eny. Koro gisani to togo go tinde onge nikech kuonde mamoko gi obeti, koro lo to donjo e pi nikech togo gi onge, koro kuma rech nyuole maber, koro sani onge.
When we were growing up, the lake used to be very clean. We used to go with our friends to swim, to do a lot of recreational activities. But now, when I came back after school and just take a look at the lake, it is full of plastics. Part of the lake is very polluted. There's raw sewage from the households to the lake, and now the lake has very dirty water.
Hata tukivuta neti unaweza kupata plastiki imekuja, na hata zingine unapata mpaka samaki iko ndani na imekufia ndani sababu imekosa ile pumzi ya kupumzika. Sasa iko na effect na inatu affect hapa barini.
Asega baro rech kaka rech mabet dongo kata mediere. Asega baro rech mayudo plastik e iye. Plastik machalo kaka gik machalo pampers machalo jola go plastics bilago asebaro rech mayudo e iye.
Single-use plastics are plastics that are used once and then thrown away. So this includes water bottles, coffee sachets, straws, polythene bags. Although the government of Kenya has banned polythene bags, there's still some people that use the plastic bags here in Kenya. So these are the things that cause most pollution in Lake Victoria.
When you take in this stuff into the water, some will float. As they float, they disrupt the gaseous exchange. So that alone is enough to cause kind of a change in the biodiversity of the water. That's the first thing. And an aquatic environment is supposed to be an ecosystem. It's supposed to be self-contained with checks and balances. A well-balanced proportion of what eats what and what produces what. It's supposed to be an entire, complete kind of self-sustaining ecological or ecosystem. So if you disrupt any aspect of it, like now, you block sunlight, direct penetration, you reduce productivity. That means the plants that would normally produce something from there which then are eaten by other animals, which then eat others, so the food chain is disrupted because the production itself is reduced.
Luonga mayene, no luonga yido awe tich mudo, no la manyorombe tin koda lege, adhi amanye yotieno kodo diochiek. Ani nyinga miluongo ni Pesila Ogilo. Sama ma kinde manalokeno nopogore gi sani. No. Nene rech nitie, wawaro rech, wadhi go chiro. Mano ndalogo, ndalo mane machon go. Wadhi ka yiedhi go to wakawo rech, koro wadhi adhiya gi manumu. Ka wahero ni wawang'o to wawang'o. Mago gik mane machon go. To sani rech onge.
Mimi sijaanza kuvua leo, nimefua miaka ambayo inazidi miaka 20 hivi. Sasa tangu hapo zamani ilikuwa ni tofauti. Vile sasa tunavua, unaona kuna upungufu ya samaki. Tunaovia hata kwanza hizi plastic zenye zinaingia barini, unajua plastic ni kitu yenye haioshi. Ikienda pale inakaa, udongo ikikuja inasimama juu. Hata ndio unaona bahari sasa ni kama inasonga. Sasa bahari vile ilikuwa deep zamani, saizi inakuwa ni shallow. Samaki sasa inakuwa ni pungufu.
I get my inspiration mostly from elders, my grandmother. When I visit my grandmother and grandfather, they sit me down and they tell me, Nyakwara, let me tell you the story about the lake. We used to go there, we used to have our pots, we used to drink that clean, it was very clean, we just used to take our pots there, we fetch water, we meet our better halves there, and the life was just very well. But now when I go to Homabay, Lake Victoria, what I see, I'm like, where did we go wrong as a society? Where did we go wrong? We cannot do the same things she was telling me about. I'm just fantasizing about them, but I don't know. That's why I said I must take action. Having the background of environmental conservation, I myself said I must take it upon me to restore the lake back to its original beauty, as my grandmother was saying it, so that our future generations can also have the same beauty and they can also narrate it to generations to come. Now, looking back at all this, that's why we initiated project to fight single-use plastics. We have initiated the Clean Water Project because the lake is not as it used to. So people must drink clean water because the dirty water that is in the lake now is associated with a lot of diseases. Then we initiated regenerative agriculture to avoid chemicals, because these chemicals, they end up getting to the lake.
So my name is Mondi Bill. I'm an environmentalist and a climate justice activist. I generally work with youth groups to do conservation projects, and currently we are working on Save Lake Victoria campaign, which is an eco restoration program. We intend to sensitize as many people as possible. We intend to bring so many different youth groups to work on the idea of saving Lake Victoria, because Lake Victoria as a natural resource serves the people of Homabay and to the people of East Africa at large. The condition of the lake has greatly declined compared to how it was 10 years ago. And we intend to bring youth from the neighboring institutions like the Tomboya University, the community. We have a medical training facility that is in Homabay, and we intend to ensure that the project itself doesn't just end in Homabay town itself. We have stretched to Luanda, we have stretched to Yogis, and we look forward to having even the East African bloc participate in this activity of saving the Victoria.
My name is Derek Kipkemboy, a student at Tomboya University. I volunteer to take part in cleaning the lake because I'm passionate about environment, and the environment is where we live, and we must protect it each and every time.
Sisi kama youth tukijitoa, maybe 3 of us, we decided that today let's go to the lake and pick plastics, and then we maybe put in a WhatsApp group. Then we realized some other people will be interested to come and join because they're seeing us really picking. We were even posting the pictures which we were picking and all that. So we find that it really encourages other people to get involved. But if tunaambia tu watu tuende waende wafanye, sisi wenyewe hatufanyi, that's what really affects us. So those people who are in charge should also try and really get themselves down there to help. Yeah.
We have partnered with primary schools, secondary schools, and tertiary institutions because these are our leaders of tomorrow. In these schools, what we carry out is there's tree planting. Under the tree planting, we have initiated a project that every student has a tree named under them, so that they take care of that tree and nurture it, so that the environment is now what it should be. The county government on its own has done a lot in terms of environmental conservation. In terms of partnership with the county government, we actually have an MOU now to provide clean drinking water for the residents of Homabay County, whereby the county government provides some of the things that are needed to create these water points. So in terms of that, we have collaborated with them. We are also considered stakeholders in these cleanup exercises in environmental protection activities in Homabay County.
We are engaging the youths in contract basis, whereby they do cleanup of towns and urbans, whereby they collect the solid waste and also put them in our receptacles, such as the skips we have, which are eventually taken out, transported to the disposal sites.
We have initiated the fight against single-use plastics because we want the old lake back. I am the Chief Operations Officer at Wable Maji Safi. Wable Maji Safi is an organization that deals with giving people decentralized drinking water. What we do also, we purify drinking water for people. Majorly our sources are the borehole or the lake. So we purify this water to give the end user clean drinking water.
We've been having perennial local water where people don't have water, they have to travel far. Usually young girls really need to go and look for water instead of going to school. So as a person with my background is actually performing arts, and arts is life, and so water is life. So that's one of the areas that I've been so much thinking about. What could I do? How can we come up with a solution for ourselves, even just to take care of that our my generation or maybe next generation would have really clean drinking water. And that's how we came up with the idea of Wable, which actually means water table banking. Table banking is a digital part of it, which is actually, when you look, people here, they always connect things together and then they find a way to share it amongst themselves. So water is a shared resource. So when we talk about Wable, we're actually talking about water management, the whole water source management, not just the water itself. So Wable in itself actually is, Wable is water table banking. So we think the more we raise water up the table, the more we can also bank on it. So it's about sharing this resource.
Women don't have to travel very long distances to look for clean drinking water. Instead, the time they can use to do some other activities.
Sana no ber pigini nikech kane poko keleka no anyalo hao pi sipembeta samoro ne wanyalo yudo tuoche mopogore opogore kapok pigni no kelka nikech samoro ngato kaka nyalo yudo transport mondo dhi mbita ne onge to nyaka ne keleka wasene no ber ne mang'eny kendo wasebedo kwa yuto kuome nikech ngimawa.
These water points, they serve as meeting points, and you know it's very important for women to meet. They act like a social place And from these meetings, the women, we have had chamas come up from there. We have had other ideas come up from there that is beneficial to them and to the community as well.
The Wable water, as much as it is sited in Luanda, Kawangi communities adek. One called the Gembe Central location, Walung in other words Nikamreri, and we have Gembe East. The three communities is the area Masanigi source clean, purified water for household use.
An kaka jakom, an gi sub committees mopogore opogore e ofisa kanyo. An gi mar education, an gi mar health, an gi mar development, an kod gi mopogore opogore. Kwa biro e weche mag ka, an gi kaka nawacho ni an gi health. Ma koro tich ja health mondo nyis ni alwora mar dho pika ber, mane tije momiyo yiere. Wan bende weche mag health omakore nyaka gi kor gweng'. Wan gi jodong gweng' kok idonje beach, wan gi jodong gweng' ma be watiyogo kanyakla. Gin bende ok giyie gik maricho mondo obol, nikech kobol gik marichogo to koula biro titerogi nyaka pi. Koro gin bende ok giyie mondo gik maricho obol.
Involvement of local leaders is very important and form a very integral part of conservation, because these local leaders, they're the ones in charge of the communities that we work in. They mobilize people and they give information as well as delivering the information. Working with them is very, very important because you know the key areas that are lacking, so that when you come in with the environmental conservation, you know what is the need in this community.
Sani kilwa ng'enye nam, dhano bendo medore. Nikech ji osomo to tich onge. Koro giduto te gibiro ging'iyo nam. Koro ka dhano bedo mathoth e nam, to nweng'o mar nam nyaka dog piny, nikech gihengo nam.
This is one of the major water points that we have around neighboring my location. And I want to say that a number of my people are customers, are beneficiaries of this water point. Because, for example, in my area I have 4 sub-locations, and the neighboring sub-location is Waondo. In the whole of Waondo, we don't have a place where we have a clean source of drinking water. So we rely solely on this.
We used to have, very, very many waterborne diseases. But since the initiation of this project by WABU, it is really minimal. We are completely discouraging direct use of, say, lake water. For example, in almost all my 9 beaches, we don't allow people to go and wash directly in the lake.
The water that is currently there is not very safe for drinking because of either being contaminated by agrochemicals or just pollution by plastics or any form of pollution. So this water is taken from the source and it passes through a lot of processes before it is now readily clean and safe for drinking for the residents of those areas.
Wanonge gimoro manikete nikia yath kiango. Kwaseole dapi gini ema miyo bedo mang'ich. Koro kimodhe timodha modha.
We have a big fish at all our water points that is fitted with plastics to act as a symbol of what single-use plastics can do to our biodiversity inside water and to our environment. So we do not allow the use of single-use plastics in our water points. That's why we have unquantifiable water that we ourselves serve using calabashes to people that want water to quench their thirsts. At our water vending stations, we encourage people to take water in bulk, at least 20 liters and above. One of the projects we are also doing is regenerative agriculture. These regenerative agricultural practices, they focus on you farm, but then also conserve the soil as compared to the other monocultural practices. So we can still restore the earth's soil and still get food at the same time.
In our last meetings, we were discussing regenerating agriculture, and what impressed all of us, or almost everyone that attended those meetings, is that it is very cost effective. You don't have to be rich for you to practice regenerating agriculture, because you purely use what is available in the right way. It's something even our grandmothers, our grandfathers understand, and they reflect it to what they used to do in the past. It is only that it is baptized in English, but if you now tell them what it means, you will realize that it's something that used to be there in the past. And that is why in the past we used to have productive farms and even other things, because that regenerating agriculture.
To kwariwo tekrewa, to wadhiriwo pachwa, to wadhiriwo mwanduwa, to gima biro wuok gima ng'ongo manyalo konyo ji alanda. Ndalo moko chon Osogo ne pidho nduma ka, to Oriyo bende ne pidho nduma ka, to koth no chieng' nowuok ka ma koro chiemo onge, tema ni winje ni nyathi yom ka ndumb Osogo. Donge ndalogo nokonyo. Koro wan bende wadwaro ni gik ainago wabe chieng' moro timruok nade oparwa godo.
Women on their own are nurturers. So by them being nurturers, they are generally leaders. So their uptake in this project is very important, because when they get the knowledge, they pass it on. If it's good, they pass it on, and they really practice it. And they're very willing to take part in it if it's something that helps them.
Ni Jane Adhiambo oko Kasgunga East anchi Kasgunga ka chon yande kwa kawa ni wapidho sikuma. En sikuma lilo ewi chieng'. Ipuro sikuma miol pi ma pi rum michak iol pi to sikuma ng'i mana ni. To koro sani kaka nyocha osepuonjwa ni nyaka wakik kothe. Yudo ka sani sikuma ipuro kama tis tiyudo yuto man gi malo manyalo miyo idhi nyime gi ngimani kendo idhi nyime gi purno maber.
Ber momiyo aneno ka pidho alot kod yien berne. Mokwongo yien miya yamo maber e puodho. Mar ariyo, yien kelo na mbolea e puodho ka itigo lwar. Mar adek, alode miya ohala. Ka puro eka achiel mar alot tayudo siling' 15,000 juma achiel. Koro aneno ka pur mar alot noberna saidi kod yien. To kanyal bedo chieng' nikech yien ko kapidhogi to gikelo na tipo e compound mantie. Mae mamiyo pidho yien kanyakla kod alotego.
Regenerative agriculture gike level moro masani nitiere jok mabiro omo nyanya koni kendo biro omo skuma koni. Sa 12 gisebiro omo gigo eko gidhi uso. Koro aparo ni en gima landore mos to in future obiro bedo maber ahinya. Nikech korka ne pod wachako pok wadhi mabor ahinya. To waseneno ni kata last week nitie mitokni 2 manoa Kisii manobiro mokawo nyanya kae kendo kawo alot.
There are components of regenerative agriculture that are very beneficial to the environment, like not using these fertilizers, using cover crops, minimum tillage. Yeah, so those are the things that we really want to focus on to also conserve the environment.
We have partnered with so many other community-based organizations, but we want to recognize the efforts by Wable Maji Safi, what they have done within the lakefront in making sure that the communities around the lake have clean water, clean environment, their efforts to reduce the plastic waste along the Homabay beaches, and we are looking forward to working with them, with Wable, just to provide safe, clean water to the people of Homabay and reduce or eliminate plastic waste completely when we bring in more partners to recycle what Wable is collecting and as plastic waste.
Ne wan nyaka gi tuoche machalo kolera ma ng'ato diewo tong' ok nikech samoro omodho pi marach. Nyaka nwayud pi maber ni waonge tuoche. Koro ago erokamano ni gima kata jo Wable otimo ne Luanda kani. An kaka jakom ma Luanda, an gi jokombe moko ma bende jirendena dagombi ni gimed choro lwetgi mondo gima gitimo ni gitim kuonde mamoko. Ka ok kamano tago erokamano.
We're very glad to be part of such an endeavor and looking forward even to engage more people, get more investors to invest in these ideas. But invest if you think it makes sense. That's also what we're looking for. People really want what we're doing.
Nyaka go erokamano n'oganda manoparo mondo gikel pi machalo kamano e Luanda Nyamasare Beach. Ber mwasenene iye kata mwanene iye en ni gie sani wakono ni wan kod pi maler, pi maleo, mothiedhi, maonge tuoche.
Locally, we are getting recognition, and the county government has vowed to work with us in this environmental conservation journey, and we are very happy about that. And then globally, we have been getting a lot of recognition. We applied for various Innovators Award, like the Cisco Innovators Award, Bayer Social Innovators Award, which unfortunately we did not win, but we were part of it. And we are really proud that our small efforts are really being recognized. And then we were nominated for the World Bank Plant Trees Not Plastics campaign, which out of the 2,000 applicants globally, we were among the top 10 finalists. And we really thank God and thank everyone for appreciating our small efforts towards environmental conservation. Environmental conservation is a personal initiative. Take it upon yourself to engage in these activities that promote environmental conservation. Let us take it upon ourselves to safeguard this environment that we have and hand over a clean and safe environment for our future generations. We can, and I can.